Let's talk about finance. Hey guys, my name's Ishaan. I am a 19-year-old entrepreneur living in Dubai / I was a student a few months ago, but I decided not to go to university. So in today's video, I decided why not talk about finance and sort of open up about my finances, what I sort of use, credit cards, savings, investments, all things finance that I feel like everybody watching this should know. And I know most of you are my age, either 19 or below, so having these sort of in your mind for the future should sort of help you out. Let's start off with savings. Savings are really important, and you want to start saving extremely early on because you never know what life throws at you. You should have a goal. Saving towards a goal is really important, whether it's a house deposit, whether it's a car, whether it's XYZ. You should have a savings goal in mind, and you should also have a pot of money that is just untouched. Keep in your saving. The best way that I save, I'm sort of an extreme saver. I'm very tight with my money. Even if I had £1 million, I would be so tight. I spend on very specific things, and the rest I sort of keep it in my bank account or in my investments, because I'm genuinely the tightest person you know. But basically, I get a salary every single month, and the only thing I spend on is literally my rent, any needs that I actually literally need. The rest I literally am so tight that I will not spend on, because the perks of social media is you get a lot for free, and that's sort of why I don't spend a lot of my own money, and that's sort of helping me save. But it's so important that you should have a savings goal in mind, whether it's 50% goes to your needs, like 50% of your salary goes to your needs, 20% goes to your sort of wants, and the rest goes to your savings. However you sort of structure it, make sure you structure it right and structure it suited towards your lifestyle. At the moment, I feel like the biggest saving goal for a lot of young people is a house deposit. So I am actually saving for a house deposit. At the moment, I have about £20,000 saved up, just solely for this house deposit, that I'm going to hopefully get in the future, because you do need to put down X% deposit and then obviously get a mortgage on the rest. I want to sort of have as much saved as possible to put on deposit so I can reduce my mortgage payment when I do consider buying a house. At the moment, I am renting. I am in Dubai, so it is really expensive. But yeah, in the UK, you have various bank accounts. You have Monzo, you've got Chase, you've got HSBC, you've got all of these amazing bank accounts. But what you want to do for savings is find a bank account that has a high interest rate, high savings interest rate. And at the moment, there's loads. If you look up the best bank with the highest interest rate, something called Chase will come up, which is basically a branch of JP Morgan. They used to give, I can't remember the exact interest rate now, but they definitely give 4.3%. I think maybe they do 5%. I used to have Santander, and they gave me 5.5%, but it was only a 1-year rate. But there's loads of banks out there. Look into savings rate. At the moment, I'm in the UAE, so all of my money is in Dubai, with a bank account called Weo, and they give me a savings rate of 5.5% annually, but obviously paid into my bank account monthly. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you a bit about is credit cards. Now, credit cards are also pretty important. Number one, they help build your credit score. Number two, let's say you don't have funds available right now, you need to buy something, but you will have the funds in 5-6 days time to pay it off. That it could sort of really help you out. But it's really important that you know how to use a credit card. Okay, if you are using a credit card, please, I'm telling you, please don't be irresponsible with it. You have to pay off your balance in full when the statement is due. There is no point getting a credit card if you are going to be putting it on interest plans, so paying it off in 3 months or 6 months, because you're going to have to pay high interest rates. There's honestly only use a credit card if you can pay it off in full at the end of the month. So I have various credit cards. I've got the American Express British Airways Premium card. This one, I have a credit limit of £15,000, which basically means every month I can spend £15,000, but this has to obviously be paid back every single month. I also have the Express Platinum card. This has a credit limit of way higher. I think it's £40,000. I also have a Monzo Flex card. Monzo Flex I generally use when I'm abroad, because the American Express cards have a 2.99% currency fee. So if I'm making a transaction in, let's say, euros, there will be a 2.99% fee added on top. So I have my Monzo Flex card for that, and because there's no currency fee, that has a credit limit of only £500, because I've never bothered to really increase it. We then have a Virgin Travel credit card I've got. That again, I think has a credit limit of £1,200. That is basically, again, another backup in case my sort of Monzo fails on me. And then I have a Barclay card, a Barclay British Airways, a Barclay Avios card, sorry. This Barclay Avios card is basically has a credit limit of £4,000. So in total, I've got pretty high credit limit per month. I only use that if somewhere doesn't accept American Express. And then I have an American Express Gold card, which is for my business, which is a business card which is solely for business purposes. But the reason why I have American Express is, number one, they are fantastic. Like, their customer service is insane. They've got so many perks. So the British Airways card, I get avios and a companion voucher. So if I spend £10,000 in a year, I will get a companion voucher, which basically means buy one ticket, get one ticket free. And I also get avios. With avios, you can literally book a flight, which is insane. And with my British Airways card, I get 1.5 times avios per pound spent, which is pretty good because I do sort of get a lot of avios. At the moment, I've got 150,000 avios stacked up, which is great because I can do like loads of small trips. Like I can do return London to Paris in business class for only 19,000 avios. The Platinum card comes with even more benefits. I get lounge access. It does cost £600 a year, but I do get lounge access in every single airport. I get travel insurance and medical insurance as well when I'm traveling, gadget protection. Let's say my flight is cancelled, obviously I won't have to pay. I'm insured by AMEX as long as I sort of paid for the trip on the AMEX, which I will always. So yeah, those are my credit cards that I use. Again, only get a credit card if you can pay it off in full. The next thing I want to touch upon is investment. So it's really, really important that everybody is investing regularly. By regularly, I would put in sort of 50 to 100 to 200 pounds a month or a week into my investment portfolio. Normally I do index funds, so S&P 500, which has an annual return rate of 10%. Obviously this can increase, but remember, if you are putting £50 a month or £50 a week or whatever you do, remember it's compound interest. Look into compound interest because investing is so important. I use Trading 212 to invest just because it's so easy and I can literally just do everything on my phone and everything makes complete sense. But there's so many other platforms out there like Vanguard. So do your research before you do choose a platform. I did choose Trading 212 just because, you know, it was the easiest one. You can use my sort of referral code for a free share up to £100 in the bio, in the sort of description. But yeah, so that's what I sort of do to invest. I try and invest weekly / monthly, and that's sort of different to my savings. So I make sure that my investments is part of a need in my salary. I need to invest. So I do set aside a bit for investment. And remember, if you start investing early on, when you're 18, when you're 35, you're genuinely going to thank yourself. Like, I promise you, you're going to be like, shit, yeah, at 35, if you haven't started investing, as soon as you're 18, start investing. Because at 35, you're going to be like, fuck, why did I not start investing? Next thing I want to touch upon is your credit score. So your credit score is very, very, very important. So it determines whether you're able to borrow money. So let's say you want to get a mortgage or you want to get a loan. The banks have a right to refuse you. But if you have a high credit score, they know that you're likely to pay them back on time. So they will more likely approve you for the loan. So at the moment, my credit score is 999, which is the best credit score because I have been paying off my statement in full for the past year and a bit. My first credit card that I got was, well, as soon as I turned 18, I got the American Express. And I've been paying that in full every single month, and that's how I do have an excellent credit score. But when you want to get a mortgage out, the banks, the lenders will look at your credit score and do a hard search. So they will look into, have you been paying your payments on time? Have you been doing this? Have you been doing that? And if you have a low credit score, the chances of you being approved for a credit card or a loan or something like this are very, very slim. But if you do have a high credit score, then obviously the banks will know that you are trustworthy, you're going to pay them back on time, and they will lend you the money. There's a few ways to go about credit score. So you might be asking, how can I even get a credit score? How can I even get a credit card if my credit score isn't good? There's a few ways. Make sure that you're registered to vote. So make sure that you are on the electoral register. This does increase your credit score. Make sure that if you sort of got a direct debit set up, if you've got a phone contract set up, then make sure you're paying those on time. But the easiest way to get a high credit score, as soon as you turn 18, ask your parents to be a supplementary card holder on their credit card, whether they have American Express, whether they've got Barclays or anything. Ask them if you can be a supplementary card holder. This basically means you'll have your own card, but it will just be under their sort of account. So make sure you're paying them back, but because their credit score would be good, because they're paying their monthly statement on time, it will also reflect on your credit score. So that's an easy life hack to start off with a good credit score at 18. Become a supplementary card holder on their account and basically build your credit score from that. And finally, let's talk about building an emergency fund. Okay, this is so important because there are so many things that could go wrong in life. You never know when you might need money. You need to have an easily accessible pot of money that you will not touch unless it's an absolute emergency. So every month you should be putting in a bit of money into this emergency fund. And you can only, and I mean you can only tap into this fund if it's a genuine emergency. So it's always good to have this small pot of money, or even however big it is. There is a high chance that there will be an emergency in your life. I don't know what it is, but please make sure you're prepared for this, because you don't want to be tapping into your savings. You don't want to be sort of borrowing money. You want to have a set aside pot of money that you can dip into if there is an actual emergency. So I hope this video did help. I know it's a bit scary talking about finances, but the best way to think about it is do not compare yourself to others, okay? Do not look around and sort of compare yourself to him, her, him. Do not do that, because everybody's finances are different and you don't have to share them with anyone. So please don't compare yourself to others and start on your own journey. Just remember, budgeting is so important. Looking at your credit score is really important. Saving is important. Building an emergency fund is important. Be responsible with your money and it will take you very, very far. Anyway, I hope this video has helped. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I will make more videos like this, sort of delving into each topic specifically if that helps. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.